Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the SpeakerMC Show. Today is a fabulous, fabulous day. We have some stars in the house, and I do
Stars.
Yes,
I'll take that.
absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. My name is Marcia Chambers, and you are here to experience the SpeakerMC Show. If you're new to the show, let me just give you some background. The SpeakerMC Show is 60 minutes of fun and engagement. We take a topic and we dissect it in three. We find out what is the problem, we find out how does it show up, and our guests will offer some tips and solution. And from all this discussion, you will remain empowered as our audience with all this information. Our guests will be provided with exposure to their business, and everyone who's on the show will experience nothing but fun. Nothing but fun. So I'd like to share my screen, and let's go into the show. First off, as you know, it's the SpeakerMC Show, as I said. And today, Monday the 23rd, we are talking about communication. Actually, we're talking about ineffective communication. And I'd just like to read something here that just tickled my fancy. Confidence isn't walking into a room with your nose in the air and thinking that you're better than everyone else. It's walking into the room and not having to compare yourself to anyone else in the first place. I thought that that was so deep. That was so deep. Because tonight's show topic is, do I know you? And it's all about ineffective communication. Like I said, what's the problem? Where does it show up? And what are the solutions? And if you stay till the end of the show, you'll get a nice surprise because our guests are going to give you some gifts. Yeah, we're all about the gifts. So before I introduce our guest today, I just wanted to give you some background about communication. Communication is a skill. And if it's done improperly, whether it's to one person or to a room full of people, you lose your audience. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let me introduce to you one of our superstars on the show tonight. Yes, superstar. She is a speaker, and she is the founder of Brown Girls Billionaire Gang out there in Hampton, Virginia. Her name is Ashlan Ray, and Ashlan is your badass business coach and personal bullshit bully. That's right. She transforms your way of thinking and provides the tools you need to kick ass and build unshakable belief in yourself so that you can finally own your shit. Yes, own your shit. It's time to take your life and your business with the confidence of a honey badger and live your badass life like a boss. That's right, like a boss.
She said honey badger.
Miss Ashlan Ray. Yay!
Hey! Girl, that was a hell of an introduction. Thank you.
I'm so honored to have you on the show today. I can't wait till we jump into our show topic.
Yes, I'm excited.
And
Make it good now. Make it good.
Our other movie star. He is a radio and TV personality, as well as a photographer. Click, click, smile for the camera. That's right. We call him Dre. Dre definitely has his hands full these days because he's busy producing and hosting Dre's House on Tega's TV. But don't tell him that his house is full. He'll say, well, no, that's not his voice. I'll do everything from researching guests to promoting across social media platforms to networking and entertainment events. That's his voice, okay?
Yeah, I'll say that. Yeah. I do say that.
He says, I'm all about giving listeners and viewers something different. And, I'm all about the different. What makes Dre's house unique is that music is infused throughout the entire show. And it's not just a talk show. He's giving his audiences something that they can groove to as well. You can also catch him on Dre's House on Tegas TV. So let's put our hands together and welcome Mr. Andre Woodard. Hey, Dre.
What up? What up?
Welcome to the show. I am so honored that you are on the show as well. I have two big badass stars on the SpeakerMC Show today. Yes, I'm feeling very honored. And if you don't know who I am your host, Marcia Chambers, SpeakerMC. I'm a speaker and a consultant. I have an online show, this show, the SpeakerMC Show. I'm also the co-host of the Rebel Soul Show that's aired on 102.3 FM on Saturdays with DJ Tony Bennett and DJ Mackie. And my latest project is SWELL for Women. I am so excited about that. It's sexual wellness and empowered living lifestyles for women, where we urge women to give themselves the permission to be sexual and sensual. That's right. And we'll be having a spin-off show, the SWELL TV show, pretty soon. I think it's launching in March 1st to be exact. So stay tuned. Yes. I can't wait till we start diving into this show topic, because this show topic is near and dear to everyone. It doesn't just, well, we'll talk about it, because most people say ineffective communication affects couples, but I don't think it's a couple thing. And it might not be an inspiration thing. It might just be a people thing. You know, you have to figure out, what are you not saying, or what are you saying even when you're not saying anything? Aha! Riddle me this. But before we dive in, let's go for our commercial break. Our commercial sponsor today is, of course, the SpeakerMC Show. That's right. Are you a startup? Do you want to reach a global audience? Do you speak to entrepreneurs? The SpeakerMC Show can help. www.speakermc.com. All businesses need additional exposure. I get it. Social media, word of mouth, they're great. But how about using an additional platform to help you gain exposure? The SpeakerMC Show can help. www.speakermc.com. The SpeakerMC Show broadcasts live on alternate Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. The SpeakerMC Show, where it's all about relationships. If you want to spread the word about your business, SpeakerMC Show can help. Contact us at www.speakermc.com. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, our show tonight explores ineffective communication, and our guests tonight are Ms. Ashlan Ray and Mr. Andre Woodard. So, ladies and gentlemen, can we talk a little bit about, usually when I do these shows, it is because of an experience that I've had, whether at a networking event or something otherwise. But I think I've exhausted all those experiences with these shows thus far. So I don't really have a case study per se, but I think it's such a common issue amongst people that I find that it's just apropos regardless. So I wanted us to talk tonight about if ineffective communication, not effective, but ineffective communication. What exactly is it? We read that communication is a skill, and if you don't do it correctly, you can always lose your audience. So we don't want to do that. And I said, is it a couple's problem or a corporate problem? Can we kind of explore that topic? What is communication to you, Ms. Ashlan?
Communication is something that is definitely learned. It's the ability to have someone maybe not necessarily agree with you, but be able to understand your perspective, to see where you're coming from, to further express themselves so that you too can see where they're coming from. I believe that without communication, it leaves too much room for error. You know, it's like you said, it's not just for couples, but it could be a mother-daughter relationship or an employee manager relationship or coworker relationship, you know. So many different ways that skill is, you can't go anywhere without communication. You cannot. So as far as ineffective communication, I mean, there's so many ways people communicate ineffectively all the time, most of the time because they are coming from a place of emotion and feeling versus breaking down the problem, where the root, what is the root cause? You know, why do I feel this way? And instead of focusing on why they are reacting a certain way, they kind of focus on the other person's actions. So I would call that ineffective communication for starters. So
I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, it's not necessarily just, you know, two people. It's period.
right.
How do you relate to that other person? Dre, anything you want to add to this chemistry?
Well, I mean, she pretty much hit it head on, but, you know, also look at when you're communicating to people, a lot of people communicate thinking like what I'm saying, you should already know. Instead of like when you're talking to somebody, you got to watch their actions, their reactions, or anything that they do. It's like, maybe I need to explain it a different way. Because, you know, we as people, we always have in our head, just because I said it, you should understand it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So when you really got to watch the person explain it. I don't want to say dumb it down, but turn it, you know, make it explain it to how the person is reacting. If you already know the person, you already know how you're supposed to explain it.
Absolutely. And you know, the fact that a lot of us, you know, we digest information in different ways. And so I may be visual while you are audible, you know, you're audible, and this person needs to put their hands on it. And so I like what you said. It's not dumbing it down. It's just making it in a way that person can really understand what you're saying.
Exactly.
There's a program that does that, neuro-linguistic, the NLP.
I love NLP.
It teaches you all these different modems, you know, all these, is it modems? No. Moda?
Moda.
Yeah.
Close enough.
I feel like we should know how to say that.
Where's my grammarian? The modalities. Yeah. All these different modalities, how people learn differently. Some people learn by doing. Like me, if there's some technical stuff and I read it, it's not going to make sense to me because all this jargon that I have to throw out. If I start doing it and I say, oh, this piece belongs here, oh, that piece belongs there, I don't mind messing it up or blowing stuff up because, you know, that's how I learn. But some people, they can read it and reread it and reread it. And other people, you just tell them and it's done, you know?
Yeah, that was me, like growing up. If I listened to it, I had it down packed. But if I had to read it, you can cancel it.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we explored what it is, can we just give a little bit more information on how does this ineffective communication show up? I know that I do a lot of networking, and I know you guys do a lot of networking yourselves. And there are not many times when people will meet you, because now this is a cold audience. It's not an audience to which you've been exposed before. It's a networking function, and you're going there to meet new people. So when you meet these people, everyone has their own agenda for the most part. And in just a subtle handshake, so that touch mechanism that you were talking about, Ashlan, just a handshake. I'm very big on handshakes. I hate to shake someone's hand and they give you this little dead fish thing. Like, oh, nice to meet you. Listen, I took a shower. You know, you don't have to scorn me. You can shake my hand, grab my hand and shake it. So you have people who don't realize how they come across from just a gesture that's so simple. Anyone you want to touch on that? I'll start with Dre.
Well, I mean, for me, it's like if I go do a networking thing, my thing is to be in their face, and then you know, some people don't want to hear you.
Be right.
You know, they don't want to hear you, but I'm firm on, like, I'm gonna be in your face, especially if I know what you do. As soon as you tell me something that can like help me further, or if I think what I do helps you further, I'm gonna make sure by the time I finish talking to you, you're gonna want to call me the next day. So, you know, I mean, that's just how I work. Because some people, they sit there like non-interested and stuff. So I have to say something that's going to trigger them to say like, oh, I need to talk to you.
Right.
So, that's how I work it. And it's all about, don't be scared when you do it. Just do it. What's the worst they can say? No.
Absolutely.
A lot of people are afraid of no, though. A lot of people.
You get very far if you're going to be scared of no.
You shouldn't be in business.
That's right. That's right. That's absolutely right. But even so, you're in your face. So I know I used to have this problem before I learned how to network efficiently. I used to vomit on people. Excuse the French, but yeah, when I say vomit on people, hey, my name is Marcia, and just start
okay. Like, wow.
It was kind of graphic.
Yeah, I thought you actually were throwing up on people.
Marcia, I knew what you meant.
I just wanted her to finish so I can, see if I need to cut this off or not.
Oh my God.
Oh, you thought it was some kind of kinky stuff? Oh, no.
No, I didn't think it was kinky, but like you nervous, so you throw up on them and stuff like that.
Oh, Lord, no. But there are so many people who still do what I used to do. And I think to a certain extent, there are certain skills that you learn when you're in sales. And there are certain skills that you need to learn when you're in sales. And that one, I found that when I would do that and just tell them all about me, I failed to realize that it wasn't about me. It was about them, because it's how can I help you? You know what I mean? So anything you want to add to the toxicity in that kind of ineffective communication?
Just two quick things. One of the things that I had to drill into my clients' heads who want to start kind of getting out there and getting exposure and talking to people was that they would be, like you said, they're shy of the rejection of no. And it was like, okay, but when you're shy and you're not making eye contact and you're looking a certain way, you don't come off as shy, you come off as a bitch. And nobody wants to deal with that. You look like, you're standoffish, and you know what I'm saying? And you're like not interacting, you're not asking questions and being, inquisitive about other people's business. And it really does look closed off. And so people kind of tend to go the other way. One of the things that I do personally, since we were talking about networking, is exactly what Dre said. I'm in your face. And my opening line when they would ask me, first of all, I ask you a lot of questions. Because like you said, it's not about me, it's about them. And to be perfectly honest, I feel like as long as you help people, your time's going to come anyway, as long as you are always actively in line with what you're doing. And so when they do finally ask me what I do, now at this point, they're all like, oh, she doesn't talk about herself. I wonder what she does, right? And I used to say, well, oh my God, I love my job. I get paid to talk shit to women and throw back tequila shots. And they're like, what?
I like that job.
Right. But it was exactly what Dre does, right? They are going to find, they want to know more. They're going to ask me, what does that mean? What? Right. And I leave this impression. And so there was the effective communication, because I left an impression after I was inquisitive and very curious, I guess, about what they do. I was genuinely, interested in what they had to say. And that is what kind of led me to the close,
It's funny that you touched on being curious and being interested, because they have this motto that says it's better to be interested than to be interesting, because the fact that you're interested shows that, you care about the other person. And that's all part of sales and networking and everything. But let's get back to the topic of the communication. So we dealt with it in the outer circumference, where you're dealing with people on the outside. What about people who are close to you? How does that manifest? How does it create that ineffective communication? Couples, like I said at the intro, a lot of this tends to deal with couples, especially with SWELL that I do. Oh, he's not understanding me. He doesn't hear me. Well, that's ineffective communication. So let's speak a little bit about that.
Oh, that's easy. We ain't even got enough time for this. Now, when you bring like in relationship type situation or whatever, to me, a lot of women expect for you to understand what they're saying You know, and you got to think guys are like visual. You know, show us what you're saying.
Well,
Don't tell us.
Let's be real. We expect you to read our minds, not what you say.
Exactly. And last I know and stuff, nobody's working for Clio. So you know, so when it comes down to it, you know, like we'll sit there and listen to you, you know, and you know, some guys you need to ask more questions.
Yeah.
You need to ask more questions. But a lot of times we think, okay, we got it. You know, we know what she wants. And then we do what we think, you know, and the next you know, you're mad. But there's a lot of females that sit out there and say, you know, expect for you to know. And that's where that ineffective communication comes.
Dre, I absolutely 1000% agree with you.
Me too. Me too.
And further, to take it a step further, we never say what we really want. We always beat around the bush. It's always like, I'm a hint at the thing that I want. Yeah. And then you should.
Oh, what happened?
I don't know.
Did we lose her? She was making a point.
I know.
Oh, there she go.
There she
goes.
goes.
She back.
Actually,
Lost you for a second.
We lost you for a little bit.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. You got to repeat what you just said.
Start from when you had your hand up in the air.
I mean, it's just that we hint at, you know, these little things and trying to throw you these breadcrumbs, and we expect you to be Hansel and Gretel and follow the damn trail when we really need to be direct. Men need to know they solve problems, right? You solve problems. If I tell you I have a problem, you're going to say, okay, babe, we'll do A, B, and C. Boom, problem solved. But if we were more direct and said what we actually need, instead of like being bitchy and we don't want you to hang out and just say, hey, I feel unloved and unsupported, or I want some attention because I feel a little in my feelings, then I could get a better response than just, oh, you going out with your boys again? You know?
I'll just say like, yeah.
Exactly, because we're not being truthful in what we need, you know?
So you're saying you're touching on what we have here on this slide, where the elements that affect your communication can be your choice of words. And
Absolutely.
Some women just don't want to be upfront or be honest in that communication because they're scared of what he's going to say or what he's going to do, or they don't know how to be truthful about their feelings.
No. I'm not going to say, don't say they're not truthful. You're just not going to say it.
I was about to say, I think we know what we want. We just don't say it. Like instead we want them to figure it out, which is, we just feel like, oh, he should know. And it's like, what?
Especially when you haven't been with the person long, you know, and even if, you know, like, even when your relationship.
Even if you have been.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't use that constant communication. And that's what the problem is. Everybody, like, prime example, you know, a woman would sit there, like, they're with a person for a while and they stop dressing sexy. They stop doing this. A guy come to them and say, like, you know, like, yo, babe, you know, I'm feeling this type of way, you know. And it's like, oh, why I got to do all of that? You know, because they already in the relationship. Why do they have to go through all that work when they already got the man? Now they wonder why the man is looking at this girl on TV like, oh, why he's staring at her? Because he's not getting it from his mate. So if you don't, if a guy tells, yeah, that's where he's looking. Because clearly he's, I don't want to say, how can I say? I don't want to say he don't love her. But at the same time, women want to have needs. Men have needs too. You know, and our needs are visual. You know, I mean, if you got to put on a different wig, work it out or something. But, you know, but when it comes down to it, yeah, you got to work it out. You got to do what you got to do because, you know, just like, you know, like my grandmother told me when I was little, like, whatever you won't do, you know, whatever you won't do for your woman, there's like 50 men waiting to do it. Yeah. It goes back the same way. And it was a thing that Chris Rock said, like when let's say you have a man, your new friend or whatever, you know, y'all wouldn't like to say friend, we can't say friend, but y'all say like you introduce him to your friends, like we'll say, oh, yo, this is my girl, you know, blah 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 blah, and all the fellas are thinking like, okay, she's nice, like, oh, I wouldn't mind meeting a girl like her. Y'all women say like, oh, this is my friend Andre, you know, and y'all women automatically think, oh, I gotta get him, you know. Wow. You know, and that's a thought process of a woman. You know, everybody can deny it, but that's a thought process of a woman, and that's how women think and stuff. So when it comes down to it, you know, make your man happy, man, make your woman happy. Communicate. Nobody wants to communicate because they think the women are like, women are like, oh, he should know. Men are like, I don't care. Oh, wow. You know, because we're not too many men. You know, not too many is going to express themselves. They're going to say it one time, and then that's it. We're not going to keep beating ourselves over the heads.
What do you mean they're going to say it one time? And explain that for me.
A man will say like, okay, babe, like, why don't you dress sexy?
Mm-hmm.
And if he gets that, he's only gonna say it once, and that's it.
Oh, huh? Is that right?
Oh, that's right.
Well, I want to get back to the point that you made about the introductions. So if the woman introduces the man and says, "This is my friend," friend sounds so broad and vague.
But that's what women do.
Yeah, but I disagree that the other women are going to want that man. Women want what they can't have. They'll want, if she says, "Oh, this is my boo," or my hubby, or something like that. You have women who get attracted to that because, oh, he's being taken care of. I want what she has. It's like that power struggle. Like, what does she have that I don't have? Let me find out. Kind of.
Let me fix it up so I can get him. And being,
I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, I think that there are definitely women who do that. I don't know if I would generalize and just say that that's what women automatically think.
Well, I'm thinking statistics. That's what I'm thinking. And I wish I knew we was going into that. I would have had some statistics or whatever. But I'm thinking, now I do research. I research in anything, especially I've done a show on it before too. And I think my friend Dillis Davis was on the show at the time. And if you look at, she should be watching, But when you go through, like statistics, it happens that way, And I'm not saying it's right or what's wrong or whatever.
What's the thought process behind that, though? Because I mean,
it's how we made. It's how we made. Men, we look at it as automatically. If we think, oh, so that's a nice girl or whatever, I want to, I want to meet a girl like her. And that's automatically what men are thinking. Now, if the girl is flirting a little too much, now we're thinking like, yo, I'm getting her. But you don't want to do your boy like that.
Oh, okay.
You don't want to do your boy like that. But women, they looking at like, I want how he's treating her. My grandmother told me a long time ago, the best way to keep your girl, one of the best ways, and this would never fail, make all our friends jealous.
Yeah. Grandmother was right about that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because now they want what. But I think we're saying the same thing, Dre. But to a certain extent, I think maybe the struggle is that the guys will come together and say, "Oh, that's my boy's girl," and he won't touch that. Whereas on the women's side, the women are saying, "Well, it's that power play. Well, what does she have that I don't have?" kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, women do that. Men do it too. Men do it. We do it all the time. It's like, okay, I know I look better than that guy. How in the hell he pull her? We do it.
Well, okay. So getting back to the relationships now. Now, there's some other things here that I wanted to bring to the table where it doesn't necessarily have to be a verbal communication. It could be, and I think Ashlan touched on this before, you're having a discussion and you're talking with a person and they can't even look you in the eye. That is seen as kind of disrespectful, but then from the other person's part, maybe they're just shy.
Right.
They don't know how to look into someone else's eyes. And there's some customs that forbid you to look into somebody else's eyes, So you don't know where that's coming from. But then, so let's just put that as a given that, okay, it doesn't carry that much weight. But what about the tonality? And it could be the tone of a text message. It could be the tone of something that's said. Something as simple as, the pen is red. The pen is red! The pen is red. So the tonality could be misconstrued. And sometimes the speaker, doesn't necessarily mean it to come off in that manner that the other person perceives it. So would you agree that the communication can be toxic without being verbal?
Absolutely. So I know you the swell lady, so you probably won't mind this conversation, but I used to have this thing where I didn't make eye contact during sex. And so it would lead my partner to believe that I wasn't into it or I wasn't enjoying it or whatever. And it had nothing to do with him and everything to do with me. And so for me, that's definitely one of the things where it's not verbal and it wasn't bad, but it came off really terrible. You know what I mean? So,
well, wait a minute now. So hold on one second. And I don't mean to segue, but he couldn't tell that you were enjoying it without you looking at his
thing. He wanted me to, look at him in the face. It's like this thing. And so it became like a big deal because it was almost like he really wanted me to look him in the face, and I really didn't want to. And it was like, why is it a big deal? What the hell? And it was, I'm over that now. That's something that, I've worked on. I'm over it. But at that time, it was a big deal to me,
Okay.
It goes, we don't even have enough time to even talk about why the hell that was a big deal. But but just, bear with me. It was, though. And it was like,
okay.
And then the tone of voice, too. That was nothing to do with sex, but just, you can tell, like, the way someone answers you or responds to you, even if they're like, oh, yeah, of course I love you. But if you saying it like, yeah, duh, I love you. You know what I mean? Then
exactly.
Have the same weight. So, or sure, I'll do it for you. Yeah, I'll do it for you. So it doesn't have to. So it definitely doesn't necessarily have to be the choice of words, but how you express.
So since we're talking about relationships on a closer level, how do you recognize these type of people? You meet someone and you're going through the courtship stage, so to speak. There has to be red flags that show up. How do you determine, oh, this person is one of those kind of things, or this person does not know how to communicate properly, not necessarily just with you, but period?
For me, I think it's the person who kind of cops an attitude when you need more of an explanation, but not in a way where you're accusing them, but just literally because you want to clarify something. And it's kind of like, shut down, and that's any person, not a man or a woman, but just in any situation, personally, for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I shut down in a minute. I'm like, okay, I'm tired of listening to you.
I get it.
They do that thing.
Yeah. All I hear is wah, 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 wah. Yeah.
But I think at that point, you've already been irritated, and it's just like, whatever. I'm talking about like some like really, really elementary things, and it's like, you say a thing and you're like, oh, what do you mean? And it's like, you get an attitude about, well, I just said I was doing this thing. And it's like, okay.
Well, those people you don't want to mess with anyway and stuff, because that's just a waste of time. That's a waste of time, because if I can't, if I ask you, like, I don't quite understand, what are you talking about? And you want to get fly with me? Well, it's nice meeting you. Gotta go.
Well, and Dre, that's what I meant. That was my red flag. That's happened to me in the workplace, in regular life, and those are just the people that I don't deal with. You know what I mean? Because it's like, you clearly can't hold the conversation without being crazy.
Well, the people I tend to stay away from are the people who are overly critical. When they just criticize everything and anything, without any kind of remorse, so to speak. They put down this and they put down that. They blame this one. They blame that one. It's like, really? Really? Maybe it's you. You ever checked where the thumb is pointing?
I like those people.
You like those people?
Yeah, because now it's tough. Like if you talk about people, like I know people who will sit there and like, oh, why is she wearing that, or why he doing this, or all that. And I'm like, what are you doing? So I like showing them, like, you look in the mirror, and then I like explaining it to them. It's fun to me,
Oh wow!
It's entertainment.
You gotta dissect people's nonsense.
Yeah, I love it. It's fun. And have them looking like, why are you being so rude? You just said about her dress. Look at your dress. Or, or look at your sneakers or whatever,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's fun to me.
Or what about those people who, they deny, they're so defensive. Anything you say, they're so defensive. Everything is like, oh, you're accusing me. Oh, no, and you're silly. You're stupid. That kind of stuff. Those people.
Again, it tells me to mess with them.
Well, they hold up the flag for you to say, hey, come on.
Yeah. Right? Those are the ones I would conversate with.
Yeah, I mean, he has a point though, because, we have leverage because we are good communicators. We got leverage. We got one up on them. And it's fun to watch them get all frustrated when we
yes. And then go stomping away like, where you going? I thought we were going to get some to eat. What's wrong?
Like, totally polite the whole time, like just.
All the time. I love it.
Oh my God. So I really enjoy that. So now we're going to break for a commercial, because now we're going to enlighten our audiences. How can we provide some kind of a solution? We picked it apart and we heard about those people who cannot communicate effectively. They're either stonewalling, or they're accusing, or they're just defensive, or whatever it is. They're calling Dre. So we want to know, what are the solutions? But before we go, here is a commercial. We're stopping for a commercial break. And of course, it's a word from our sponsors, the SpeakerMC Show. Are you a startup? Do you want to reach a global audience? Do you speak to entrepreneurs? The SpeakerMC Show can help. www.thespeakermc.com. All businesses need additional exposure. Social media and word of mouth, they're great. But how about using an additional platform to help you to gain that exposure? SpeakerMC Show can help. www.speakermc.com. The SpeakerMC Show broadcasts live on alternate Monday nights at 9 p.m. The SpeakerMC Show, where it's all about relationships. If you want to spread the word about your business, the SpeakerMC Show can help. Contact us at www.speakermc.com. And we are back. And
that was interesting.
Our show is exploring ineffective communication, and our guests, Ashlan Ray and Andre Woodard, have provided us, and we've dissected ineffective communication, how it shows up, and what are the root causes. And now we're going to talk a little bit about some solutions. So, any kind of solutions that you guys want our audience to know how to combat, for lack of a better word, these people who show up with these symptoms of ineffective communicating? Ashlan, you want to start?
So my solution, I think it depends on how much you care about the person.
Okay.
Because if you don't really give a shit, you just go away. But if I am trying to get my point across to someone who I really do want them to understand what I'm saying, I really want them to be on one accord with me, whether it's in agreement or not, I would personally just ask them to listen to me before they respond, but truly listen to what I have to say. But focus on what is affecting me, what is bothering me, and how I feel, and not focus on what they're doing to make me feel that way.
Okay.
Right.
So focus. There's so many people who you speak to them, and they're looking at you, but they're thinking, oh, did I turn off the light? Oh my God, I didn't get that at the supermarket yesterday. And they're thinking on 10 different things as opposed to actively listening to you.
Right. And I mean, I think that's common of, just about everybody. I mean, we all have the attention spans of a freaking fly. So, I mean, it is what it is. But if it is, if you really feel strongly about whatever it is, then, you take the distractions away and just ask for the respect, ask for that time from that person, and just say, can you, offer me your attention for this amount of time so that we can kind of work this out. I think it just depends on the seriousness of the issue as well.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, I like that. So what do you do to combat that, Dre?
I listen to their response that they give me, because sometimes they're giving you keywords or buzzwords that, like, okay, maybe let me use that to explain to them what I mean.
To build rapport?
Yeah, because they can sit there, I can tell them, like, look, I don't want you to fry the chicken. All right, I want you to bake it.
I really want you to fry the chicken, but
but I want you to fry the chicken. I like chicken. That's the only thing I can come up with right now. But I want you to bake it. All right, and then if they tone up, like, well, why you want to bake the chicken instead of fry it? You love fried chicken. Okay, now I'm in a situation where, okay, let me get this person to understand. I'm trying to be healthy. I'm trying to eat right. and you're still trying to give me fried food. You know, with that question right there, it's like automatically tell me, you know, they're looking at, you know, they're not looking at the reason why I want baked chicken. They're looking at like my, you know, what I like or whatever. But let me, that question right there, that was a buzzword, you know, buzz sentence for me to say like, I need to explain to them why. Now, a lot of people sit there like, didn't you hear what I just said? Just bake the chicken. I'll do it myself.
Right.
You know, instead of like explaining, you know, just don't, when you explain something to somebody, don't get mad if they don't get it at first.
Right.
At first. Just like, okay, this person, you know, let me dumb it down and stuff like, okay, let me explain it another way. You know.
I like that because not everyone, and piggybacking on what Ashlan says, it depends on how close you are to the person. And piggybacking on our previous conversation where we're not mind readers, you know, you guys say that. So if you said, I'd like you to fry the chicken because, then maybe you wouldn't have to, you know, just include the explanation right then and there. Well, maybe they wouldn't have to, well, why is it that he likes fried chicken and why he wants me to bake it now? You know, maybe they should follow it up and say, well, why do you want it? You usually like it baked. I mean, fried. Why do you want it baked now? You know, that kind of thing.
Well, that goes to what we was talking about before. And like Ashton said, you know, it depends on how long you know the person. You know, because you automatically think, okay, if I ask you to do this, just do it. You know, especially if you're in a relationship, just do it. But, you know, the person you're with, especially for a woman is a nurturer automatically. So she's trying to say like, well, you know, I want to make you happy. Let me fry the chicken. You know, so she's going to ask, why do you want the chicken fried? I mean, why don't you want fried chicken? She's going to ask, you know, and then you got to come back and explain it to her. Now, if you done said it like 100 times, like, you know what, I'm going to Popeyes. I'm going to Boston Market or something.
Right.
You know. You get tired of it after a while.
Because after a while, just
yeah.
Charlie Brown.
Yeah, it's like
a little perspective to that. So not in a relationship situation, but I remember growing up as a child, my parents would tell me to do something, and it wasn't that I wanted to rebel. It was more like I just really didn't understand why they wanted me to do the thing. And I was just one of those kind of kids that just really needed to understand why I'm doing something. And I'm still that way as an adult, you know, until now. And so watching my niece and nephew grow up and them getting in trouble because they were told to do something and they didn't do it the correct way or whatever. And I'm always pushing their mother and my father and their grandparents, you know, to say, explain to the child why you want them to do it this way. And I think that they would be more apt to do the thing. I know a lot of people don't agree with that because it's like, you know, do what I say type of parenting or whatever. But for me, that was really a struggle growing up. And even into adulthood, it's the same way. I need to know why I'm doing something. And so I really think that that's really important. It's basically piggybacking off what you said, where you're like, you know, explain why you want her to bake the chicken instead of frying the chicken.
Right. And it's funny you should say that because I'm the type of person, and I do it now, whereas like if you send me to the store, I'm gonna get exactly what you said, nothing more, nothing less. Okay. And if it's not there, you know, I do that to my mom. I do that to my moms, and she'd be like, "Well, why did you get what? You didn't tell me that. You know, you told me to get this, and I'm gonna get that."
You
and if it's,
are such a man.
Hey, I can't be wrong. I'm protecting myself. I'm not gonna be wrong. I get exactly what you told me to get. If it's not there, I might go to another store and look for exactly what you said get. If not, I'm not getting it.
Funny enough, you come back and I say, hey, can you give me a Diet Coke? You come back with a Diet Pepsi, or you don't come back with anything. I'm like, you could have got me a Diet Pepsi. Like, you didn't say Diet Pepsi.
That's right. That's your fault, not mine. I did exactly as I was told. So you need to, okay. Well, drink water. Soda's bad for you. But, you know, but you should say, like, look, give me a Diet Coke. But if you don't have Diet Coke, give me a Diet Pepsi. Then I'm like, okay, cool. I got options.
I have learned to do that.
I'm very direct. You know, I'm like, you know, I'm going to do exactly what I'm going to do what I say. I'm going to do what I'm told. Nothing more. If you want to add more to it, that's on you.
Nothing more, nothing less. Just exact.
Exact. Until, you know, we get into another situation, then I get very creative, but that's another show.
Oh, my God.
That's another show. I'm very creative there, you know.
Oh,
so we'll leave that for another show, but, you know, hey, we're talking about communication.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, I wrote down some notes here, and to advocate or to continue having effective communication, I think we touched on most of these, where you have to listen a little bit more. And there's a reason why we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. We have to listen a little bit more, right? Speak less, listen more, listen actively. What I do sometimes, I try to ask the person, can you repeat what I just said? To make sure that they understood or they were even listening to what I was saying from the get-go. And I think to a certain extent that repetition, it shows, well, we learn by repetition. That's basically how most people learn. You learn by doing. And you do it now, you do it again, you do it again. And the first time, you won't hear anything. The second time, you're like, oh, she did say the chicken? What's to do with the chicken? And then you repeat the third time. Now, me personally, I don't like repeating myself, but I'll ask someone, did you understand what I said? Repeat it back to me, kind of thing. So I was about to say,
Marcia, if my boyfriend tell me, can you repeat back what I just said? I'm gonna look at him with the dumb face.
Yeah. You kind of dumbing it down right there when you say that. You kind of
tell me
like,
what?
Clearly you too dumb to catch it from the first time.
Right. I mean, I do be going with that, but but like I don't want to get. I know I'm raw, but ninja.
So you're saying that would be offensive?
Yes.
Depending on the person.
Okay, depending on the person. Yes. If my boyfriend asking that, I would be offended. But maybe if I was at work learning a new skill, then I'd be okay. But I guess I was thinking about the chicken, and you talking about the chicken with the chicken and repeating.
Yeah. Because I'm quick to say, like, okay, let me get this right. So you want the baked chicken, right? I'll do that.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Because sometimes, people misspeak. You might say, yeah, I want the chicken baked, but actually you were thinking baked, but you actually wanted it fried. But because you were thinking baked, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes people misspeak. And if somebody repeats, but you just said you wanted it such and such, you wanted it baked. No, I meant, so sometimes, arguments could be prevented. Just
Girl, this chicken is infamous, okay?
It can get real. It can definitely get real.
Oh my Lord. I must say, I've had a really good time chatting with you guys. And I hope our audience got some value from our conversations. We're at the point now where I would like for each of you to just give our audience 5 minutes about what you do, where they can find you. And I have here your free gift that you were offering. So ladies first, we'll start with you, Miss Ashlan Ray.
Oh, y'all so sweet. I'm a lady today.
Today.
All right, I'm a speaker and I'm founder of Brown Girls Billionaire Gang. I live in Hampton, Virginia, but I travel all over the place all of the time. I've been a resident of the West Coast. I've been a resident of a couple other states. And I've had clients all over. And what I found was there was a disconnect between when you have an idea to actual fruition, as well as how to actually get started. So the actual funding for that. And I've worked with women of all color, but I find that Black women have a bigger challenge than all the other ethnicities because they actually work together, whereas we're scared to death to help one another for fear of stealing ideas and rejection and all these other things. And so I created Brown Girls Billionaire Gang because number one, we need to have the correct knowledge, not where we're being swindled for $7,000 to learn how to be rich in 90 days or, all of these other types of programs. So I want to give them the same information that I have. I'm a person who likes to give you the information so that you can fish for yourself versus having to keep coming back to always continue to pay me or pay someone else to learn. And then secondly is the funding portion. I found out that the Small Business Association, there's only 37% of loans that go to minorities. And there's like 5% that are African American. and women are not considered a part of that demographic. Actually, I think Asians get the most, and then it kind of trickles down from there. And so I was reading about Black Wall Street and how we built our wealth as Black people, you know, back in the day. I'm going to say back in the day, don't shoot me. I just don't know the exact year. But and how we built our own wealth. And so I have been looking into ways to tap into resources for us to build resources in our own community, and so that I can grant microloans and do microfinancing to women, Black women who are aspiring to be entrepreneurs and start businesses, so that we can then create generational wealth and teach our children how to do the same thing. I mainly work with women, but I will be branching out to men at some point. It's just, this is my focal point right now. And then the third portion of this program is the mentorship. So if you become successful, or as you're becoming successful, it's your job to take on the responsibility of another young lady to bring them up and teach them the same way. We need to create a network where we can reach out to somebody. I want anybody in my organization, if they're in any state, as long as there's some of us there that exist, that can reach out to that person and say, hey, I'm coming. This is what's going on, you know, how can I help, or how can, you know, we get together and collaborate. So that's really where that all came from. Again, I'm a speaker, I'm an author. I just like to entertain. I love to teach and I like to entertain. And so I put that together, and that's kind of how I got where I am now. As far as my actual business and what I do for my clients outside of my foundation, I'm a marketer as far as content marketing, video marketing, SEO marketing, and I help people create very entertaining talks that sell. So that's me in a nutshell, and I hope I didn't take up more than 5 minutes.
Listen, I love your energy. I really love your energy, and I love what you do, especially the mentorship program. There's so many, and that's part of the reason why I got into Swell, because so many of us don't trust each other. And everybody else can get together and they can unite and they can build these fortresses and these legacies. But what about us? Yeah,
and it's really important too, because we have a hard time shifting from hustler to like CEO or business owner. And I mean, even myself, you know, because I've been making money since I was 11. I had a babysitting ring when I was 11 years old. But I've always had the hustler mentality. And it's totally different when you're building something that you're going to leave a legacy for your children and your community and things like that. And it's just so important for me to be able to share that information with as many women who will let me, you know. Somebody came to me and said, why are you only helping Black women? And I go, because all the other women already have help. What do you mean? You know, what do you mean? So, okay, I'm going to be quiet now.
And they can connect with you at ashlan.middleton@gmail.com.
Yes, or the Facebook like page is Brown Girls Billionaire Gang, facebook.com/Brown Girls Billionaire Gang. I also have Instagram, Brown Girls Billionaire Gang. So you can connect with me on any of those platforms. And you can also friend me on Facebook, Ashlan Ray.
Okay, sounds good. And your offer to our guests today, to our audience today?
It's 21 tips and tricks to dominate Facebook Live.
All right.
Yes, I get lots of engagement with Facebook Live. Video is the way of the world right now. As you can see, we're all here together. People want to know you. They want to be your best friend, even if you're 3 states away. So using Facebook Live is a way to let them into your life and to really connect with the right audience and spread your message. So that's the offer. And I think I gave you the correct link, right? So that they can download it. Okay, great.
http 21ways.pagedemo.co.
Yes, that's it.
Okay, all right. Yay! Now, Mr. Dre's house.
I'm so excited to hear his spill.
I am not as interested as she is.
Oh, come on.
Whatever.
No, I mean, I like all that stuff. You know, having daughters too, so I like all of that stuff, you know. I like what she does.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we want to know what you do.
Stripper.
I can see that.
No. Jokes. I don't want to get that stigma and stuff, you know.
I was joking too. I knew you were joking.
Like, wait a minute. So now, why somebody gonna hit me up? Do you really strip? Now I gotta explain that. Now, I'm the founder of Dre's House. Little something I started. I've always been in entertainment. I was in Vegas doing entertainment management. I took over a company, rebuilt that, and that's, you know, I'm customer service background, but some of my entertainment It was just something that kept calling me and calling me and calling me.
Hmm.
And then when I came back to New York, one of my friends was the one that was saying, like, you need to do what you were doing in Vegas. So, I kind of like took a year and just studied everything, how people act, meeting people, this and that. And then I started another entertainment company and just built that. But when I started Dre's House just by doing radio, something that I wondered if I can do. It's like a bucket list. Like, I wonder if I can do radio, and with 3 months, it just blew up. And I just never had that intention. So when Dre's House was started, it just opened the doors to so many things. I went from my first show, like 3 years ago, having 300 people listening to like over 5,000.
Wow. That's
So,
awesome.
so it was a lot of hustle and a lot of networking and doing that. So the radio, the entertainment management led into the radio. Now the entertainment management, I do manage artists. One of the guys, it's a group, but all three of my artists. I Am One of a Kind, Deacon, CP, and Big Lee. CP is a national award-winning songwriter. He won a competition where he was number 2 in a songwriter competition with over like 10,000 people.
Oh, awesome.
He's a great songwriter. Deacon, he's just one of the best singers you can ever hear out there. And Big Lee, that's my old dirty bastard. That's one rapper that his lyrics are like crazy, but he's a little crazy too, but he's the type of person you got to make a reality show for. So I manage them. We're doing big things. We got a bidding war with Atlantic and Capitol right now. So that's going good. I moved my radio show to TV on Tejas TV. So, I'm having fun doing that, but I was kind of missing radio. So on February 1st, I will be going back to doing radio and having the fun. Luckily my boy DJ Bilal, he's going to be doing the show with me. Okay, the power went out, but it's back on. But he's going to be doing the show with me, and we're just going to bring it back, have a lot of fun. If y'all tune in and stuff, Ashlan, if you're ever in New York, you got to come on the show, because I definitely would love for a lot of people to hear what you're talking about. It's definitely on point. Also, you, Marcia, come on and stuff. And
I'll be there. I'll be there.
Yeah, we got to see what hat you're going to wear. And I was going to get you a hat. I was going to get you by the hat. But it's like if anybody want to look for me, you can find me on Facebook, Andre Woodard, or my fan page, Dre's House, on Instagram is Dre's House NY. Fan page is Dre's House NY. And also, I decided to teach myself photography. And it was because I was paying people to take pictures of my artists performing. I was like, I can do it myself. So, I ended up, I had a close friend, got me a camera. And I just taught myself, YouTube University, and I taught myself. And I was lucky enough to take pictures for Biz Markie, Melba Moore, Ladies of Sky, Jeff Red. I've done a lot of major events. I'm doing Big Daddy Kane Friday. So, I was lucky enough to, they was like, I like your pictures. Can you come down and take pictures or do video or whatever? So I was lucky for that. Okay. So my little, it's not as better than Ashlan's though, but my little thing is, let's find a location. If you want a photo shoot, find a location. And if you look at my Instagram, Dre's House Photography, you'll see what I do. I'm good on the candid shots. We go on location. I'm very good at that. Like tonight would have been a good time with the rain and everything. It was chilly, but you can get some really, really good. There you go, Ashlan. That was quick. But
How you both of your page?
I know that was quick. It just popped up. But I'm definitely good at like going to locations, the park, the beach. I get very good shots doing that, especially anywhere outside. I'm very good at that. So if you want a photo shoot, whoever, Marcia decides who gets it, I want to see your pictures, see what you look like. And then I got some ideas if you live in the 5 boroughs. Every part of the 5 boroughs got ultimate places to take pictures.
Absolutely. And your free offer today is 1 hour photo shoot.
Yeah.
Free? Yes. Yes. I think
That's
I'll go after that one.
No.
I like to also include for our guests, whenever they're having any kind of upcoming events, I like to actually broadcast it here so that people can know what they're doing, where they're going to be, how they can further connect with them. And Ashlan has a summit coming up in March, and it's online, Brown Girls Billionaire Gang Online Summit. And you can catch her at facebook.com/Brown Girls Billionaire Gang. And also, she is interviewing aspiring entrepreneurs. So connect with her to appear on the Brown Girls Billionaire TV. Yes. Here's her email address, ashlan.middleton@gmail.com. And not to leave out Mr. Dre. Mr. Dre has something coming up on February 1st at 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. It's Dre's House Radio, which he just spoke about. And this coming Friday, the 27th of January, doors open at 10 because it's the Aquarius House Party with Big Daddy Kane. Lick him like a stamp. $25 in advance.
You're really stuck on that, huh? You're really stuck on that. No other song, but she is stuck on that one line.
Yep. Yep. $25 in advance, more at the door, and it will be held at the Mix Club in Hauppauge, New York. For anyone who doesn't know New York, that's in Long Island. And as far as I'm concerned, Speaker MC, I will be doing 2 presentations. I think February is going to be a very hot month for me because February 1st, I'm hosting a webinar. The webinar is called How to Throw Your Own Party of One. Yes, it talks about masturbation. On February 14th and also on February 16th, I'll be a guest speaker and a keynote speaker at 2 of the Toastmasters Club's Bronx chapters. And on the 15th, I'll be a guest on Real Ladies, Real Talk on Nightline Radio. And my usual gig is on Saturdays at 10 a.m. till noon, co-hosting the Rebel Soul Show on 102.3 FM Red Hot Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to say thank you to our guests and co-hosts. Ashlan Ray, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
I really enjoyed our conversation. Mr. Dre, bow down, bow down. Look like
sometimes you just gotta let it go.
Sometimes you just gotta let it go.
Let it go.
I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and I'd just like to ask you for a little testimonial at the end, just to talk about your experience. We only have 2 more minutes. Ashlan?
So I really, really enjoyed being on here. First of all, thank you very much for allowing me to come and grace your space. I had a great time. It was really awesome meeting Dre, and I think that the relationships that I actually just built with you 2 guys are just probably the best thing about it, because I'm definitely going to be all up in y'all inbox and on your pages. So this was really great. And
don't be DMing me.
Huh?
Don't be DMing me.
Wait, well, listen.
Try to slide up in the DM.
No. No, because I'm going to be in New York, and I do want to connect with you guys. And I really, really enjoyed talking with you guys.
Oh, and we enjoyed having you. Dre?
Yep.
Would you like to share a little bit about your experience, a little testimonial here?
It was good. No. I look at it as a blessing because I got a chance to, our paths crossed for a certain reason, because I'm very interested in what Ashlan does. So I'm going to definitely follow her and make sure my daughters even check out what she's doing, because I think that's very good that what she's doing, especially for Black women. And there's a lot of women that I know who are starting businesses or doing whatever who can definitely talk to you. So, I think, everything happened. It was good. It was very informational, and, we had a lot of fun.
Oh, great. Fabulous. Well, I really enjoyed our conversation. I think there is such synergy here because amongst the 3 of us, I think we all have similar paths. Ashlan, you and I definitely share that relationship as far as with Black women, how they need to get along. And Dre, look like a stamp. Stop saying that.
You said we had 2 minutes.
I know. Our 2 minutes are up.
Oh my gosh.
But thank you both for, honoring me with coming on the show. The Speaker MC show started like this, and now it's going to this. So I really appreciate you guys honoring me with your presence here tonight. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I hope that you will be back.
Girl, if you let me come back, I'm gonna be here.
All right. Our next show is going to be on Monday, February 6th at 9 p.m. I don't remember what the show title is, but it will be here on Monday, February 6th. So be here or be square. Good night, y'all. Thank you.
Right.